All right, checking on my books and my notes. And are you ready to rock and roll? All right. Good evening or morning or whatever time of the day it happens to be. Welcome one, welcome all to the Writers Bleck podcast. Week 3. Wow, that's longer than most podcasts make. You know, usually it's like one and done, but we made it. We did it. We can have the series finale at 3. Hold our heads up high.
Exactly.
I am Lego McGregor. I'm joined alongside. She's TNT. She's Dynamite. Taylor Noel Thomas. Hello, how are you? I can stop doing that cheesy bit, by the way, if that's.
I like it.
Thank you. Can you hear the train as it's passing by my house?
No, actually, I don't.
That's good. Okay, because I can hear it rippling in my ears, and I'm like, oh no! Like this house, I swear the walls are made of paper. Because like the train goes by, like we have windows that have cracked because of the train.
So that's rough.
So this is my childhood home, and I wanted it back for so long. It was such a contentious issue.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I hate it. And I regret every decision I've ever made. This house is just the product of multiple generations of just neglect.
Yep.
And it's like, I can fix things. I was an electrician.
Yeah.
Like we made progress. I restored hardwood floors. There's stuff I can do. And it's like every time you get a little bit closer, something else breaks, something else falls apart. Like last week, it was a sewage pipe that broke.
Oh.
So that was fun. That was a fun way to spend my Saturday, but it's okay. It's fine. It's all good now.
This is why I miss apartment living. Like, yes, you're paying for an apartment, so that's never going to truly be yours. But you're handling all of the big things. Like, I live in a house now, and I'm like, every freaking week, I feel like something else breaks down. Like for us, we just had to buy a new dryer, which really sucks.
Yeah. Appliances are way more expensive than they should be.
Agreed.
But this, one and all, is the Writers Bleck podcast. It is the podcast for writers who cannot write, whether it be for ADHD, we are just depressed out of our minds, or just some other third thing that I'm not smart enough to think of at this given time. I've taken notes this week. So now I have a little bit of a structure I can go down, and I have some things, because if I don't have this in front of me, I'm gonna ramble like a lunatic, as I've done so far the last, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. I'm exhausted, and I have a little bit of caffeine in me. It's not kicking to wake me up though, it's just making me weird. So bear with me on that one. We will start this episode of the podcast the way we start every episode of the podcast, by checking in on our homework. Taylor, that you were making a face in that their Zoom call. How'd your homework go?
It did not happen.
Okay.
No. I didn't even attempt. I just feel like these last few weeks have been really busy, and went on vacation, and then my dog texted my mom, and I'm just not trying. How about you?
So I did half my homework. I finished the first draft of the short story I've been working on. You said something last week that really stuck with me, where that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be. So I have beginning, I have middle, and end. The end feels a little bit rushed, but that's what revisions are for.
Exactly.
I think it all worked out. I made a nice scene of God taking a bubble bath instead of dealing with problems, so that's cool.
I love that.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what he does anyway. Like kids dying of starvation, God's just in the bubble bath.
Yeah, because the whole thing is like there's this mob outside the gate of heaven that's starting to form as this right-wing nut job kind of starts exploiting the rules. And so St. Peter's like, hey, we should probably do something about this. Can we look into it? And he's just sitting there taking a bubble bath. And finally, St. Peter's like, please, we have to do something. And God turns off the water, and he's like, Peter, hand me another rubber ducky. This one bores me. And I'm actually kind of happy with how it turned out. I want to go back over it. I will get to that at some point. We'll see. I don't think that's going to be homework for next week, but
it's progress.
It's progress. I have a 7-page story, so it's
exactly.
And my only real complaint is the ending feels very rushed, but that's I feel like as far as complaints go, that's okay. My essay I didn't get to because I didn't have the time or the energy. Really, I took an hour to finish this draft, like an hour out of the 2 weeks and some odd days that we've had, and it's something. And I've worked on other stuff, obviously, like kind of here and there, bits and pieces. I worked more on my comic idea that I told you about. I was talking about last week. All My Heroes Need Therapy, which was great. I think I'm actually going to start writing that this week. Kind of doing a draft of issue 1, what I want that to be. It's gonna be a graphic novel, but I'm gonna break it up like in like little 6-issue chunks. Just so it's like chapters essentially, but that way I can kind of work it out scene by scene.
Yeah. I really like that you always have multiple projects because I can barely focus on the one I get through.
I'm glad one of us likes that. I can't stand it. I had another one today. That popped into my head. Competitive eating is a very straightforward thing. Like you watch the challenges, whatever. Then there is WWE, which is like that kind of straightforward wrestling. And then it's turned on its head with personalities and quirks and insanity. And I'm like, why has no one done a competitive eating show with characters and personality in the style of a WWE wrestling show? And so I started kind of mentally plotting what like the first episode of this show would be. I was gonna call it Food Fight. Like there's gonna be announcers and commentators and referees and heels, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to be stopped. I need to be put down someday.
No,
not like dead, just like made fun of me. You make fun of me.
I wish I could generate that many, because once I become fixated in one, it's hard for me to move on to anything else. But also I'm never gonna finish it either. So I'm like,
yeah. I'm kind of like that too, where if I get super fixated on one, it's like the book I was telling you about, where instead of finishing the first book in the series, I went way ahead and I thought of every other little thing I could possibly do, and I wrote it all down in a notebook. And I got so overwhelmed by how much plot I had here and how I'm like, I will never be able to finish this, and I put it away. I feel like it doesn't help that my time management sucks, because I haven't had the urge to do much of anything lately, which sucks. It's like I want to do things. Like my brain is the kind where it's like it wants to do things, but also I'm a little lazy. So
I felt that. I completely felt that. But I'm like, one of the things I've been working on is not using the word lazy in reference to myself, because a lot of times if I'm not able to do something, it means something else needs to be addressed. So like me, I've not been able to take time to really enjoy myself, just like you. So I come home exhausted and all I want to do is sleep. And so it's like, okay, Taylor, what parts of yourself have you been ignoring?
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
And usually it's lots of things, hygiene, care for myself.
Yeah.
Mental burdens.
Mental burdens. Yeah. I'm burned out with life. How about that? Is that a better way of saying I'm burned out with life? Yeah.
Agreed. And it makes writing really, really difficult, because if I'm so burned out, I just can't find the motivation to write.
Yeah, because like I've been dealing with the house problems. I've been dealing with family stuff. My mom dropped a massive bomb on my sister and I, and said, "Oh, don't tell anyone though." And I'm like, "This is a huge thing. You shouldn't have told us. You shouldn't have dropped this on us." And then just work has been exhausting. Like I actually, without telling anyone, I worked a good chunk of this weekend, and so tomorrow will be my first day that I'm actually taking as a day off in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And even then I have errands and chores I have to get done. So it's like Sunday, I think Sunday is the only day that I have nothing on the books.
Weekends are just not long enough, honestly, because I have to get everything I need to get done weekends, but those 2 days, they fly by.
Yeah. And it's like I had a 4-day weekend where that was when the pipe broke. It was over the 4th of July. And I spent 2 days in just a drowning pool of dread because of that pipe. And then I was just insanely busy for having 2 more days off. I had a 4-day weekend. I felt more stressed going back to work than I did when I left, just because there were so many more things just thrown on the pile. And it's like, I always wanted to play some video games and take a nap. I haven't like really enjoyed playing a video game in a couple of months now. Like I'll play Halo with my friend Darian every couple of weeks because he has a wife and children and a full-time job and responsibilities as well. So we get together when we can. But that's like the only fun I have with it, and that's less about the game and more because I'm talking to my friend who I never see anymore. But yeah, it's like I haven't really enjoyed a game in a while. Like I've sat down, I've tried playing. There's a couple indie things I've tried playing on Xbox. Xbox Game Pass is a great service. I don't know if you guys are Xbox people. Okay, good. Yeah, it's like just pay for the thing and you get 1.5 billion games to play, infinite channels, and nothing to watch.
Exactly.
Yeah. Last one, I got to try playing the second Tomb Raider game, the second reboot Tomb Raider game, and I got about halfway through it, I think, and I just kind of stopped. I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm walking away. I'm not having fun. Like
it's
the Guardian
Animal Crossing, I like love it, and I'm fixated on it for months, and then out of nowhere, I just stop and I don't play it again. My poor island people, they're all dead.
They're all dead. No, they're not dead. They're just gonna guilt you like crazy when you come back.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my gosh, look at all the weeds. And I'm like,
with Animal Crossing, when it came out, I got it, and Grim was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be interested. I don't think I'll be interested in that." And within 2 weeks, I couldn't get a hold of my Switch. I had to buy another Switch because she was on it constantly. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy a Switch Lite for myself. We got our island pretty good within the first month because of time travel. But because she was the one doing most of the time traveling, our villagers hated me. We haven't seen you in 6 years. What? What? Where? When am I?
I love that.
Oh, Animal Crossing.
I never do the time time switch stuff. I don't know why, but I'm like, that's so smart. I just never end up doing it.
Yeah. I don't remember. So in the old games, there was if you did that, there was the character Mr. Rossetti who would come out and yell at you. That's why I didn't want to do it in New Horizons. And then Grim did it. And she's like, who's this guy you're talking about? And I'm like, oh, did they take him out? They took him out of the game.
He used to scare me. He was so angry and yell at you for like 15 minutes. Like I'd be clicking through like, please stop. And I was so happy he's gone.
I am happy he's gone. I kind of miss the aesthetic. I kind of miss the consequence. I miss having a boogeyman on the island, I guess. I mean, yes, there's Tom Nook, but I mean, it's stupid because on Animal Crossing, we have a little free market area just full of junk. Like we have little like stalls we built where you can put stuff down, pick stuff up, whatever. Ooh. And we're like, oh, we're gonna invite some people over to the island, or put them like Facebook groups or Discord groups or whatever. That hey, we're having a free thing. Mm-hmm. Like there's an app we used it was like Turnip Exchange. It was an app to find good turnip prices when the game was still popping. It still works. Like people still use it. It's just not as crowded. It was insane. When Animal Crossing was insane, but the thing that they like active now on that is people who are doing like events on their island. Yeah, they'll post that in that app, and so that was kind of my idea, but we just never got around to it. So I had a kind of not a weird thing, but I had a kind of cool thing that I saw pop up this week on Amazon Video, and they're doing a new series called Paper Girls, which is an adaptation of a graphic novel series that I really enjoyed. If you like Stranger Things and like weird time travel shenanigans, Paper Girls, I give it a check out. So it's in the 1980s. It is these 4 girls who are their paper girls in this town, and without giving too much away, they get embroiled in some time travel shenanigans, and it's a very tightly contained story, and it's super weird and it's super good. And I saw that Amazon dropped a trailer and they're doing Paper Girls, and I'm like, how did I not know about this? But also, that's amazing. Yeah. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that today. Like just adaptations, but like starting off, if you could, what would be your dream project to adapt to the screen, or like an audio thing, even if you want to go that route?
Oh my gosh, that is a tough one.
Yeah, I don't have one answer because I've written so much fan fiction for like Superman and Doctor Who and things like that.
Yes.
But yeah. I thought that's a fascinating idea. Things that have like everything that's been coming out. Invincible is another one that was based on a comic book. Obviously, The Walking Dead is probably the best, like most successful example of that. And then you have things like The Hunger Games and Divergent.
It's actually funny that you bring that up because I am in the middle of watching one right now. So I'm obsessed with Jane Austen. Ooh. I've seen every single movie version of every single book she has. I mean, even the really silly ones that get like 1 star, the made for TV ones, I've seen all of them.
Hallmark Channel original movie.
Exactly. And today Netflix just released a version of her Persuasion, which is one of my top favorites. So I was disappointed. So I've known way in advance when Netflix started production because I follow tons and tons of Jane Austen groups and fan pages.
You are the subreddit.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were keeping up with who got casted for what and things like that. I was super disappointed with the cast so far. Just not people I really wanted. Never is. And what made me really mad is that one of the like secondary characters, they cast this really attractive actor. I cannot remember what his name is, but he's from that super popular movie, Crazy Rich Asians, and he's super hot.
Okay.
And they made him a secondary character, and I'm just like, he should be the lead.
This is what a waste.
I digress, but so it's just really interesting that this is our topic this week because I am definitely on a kick right now. I just want to keep watching book to movie things.
The thing I always say, I think that's kind of my safe answer, not because necessarily it's the thing I'm like dying to work on, but it's the thing I think deserves the most, like it really deserves a shot, is the book series Maximum Ride. I don't know if you ever read that. It was popular. It was kind of popular when we were in middle school, but it was these it was these 6 kids. They were products of like lab experiments. They had like bird DNA, and had wings and stuff like that. And I love that series for the first 3 books. And then after that, it's like they didn't know what the hell they wanted to do. So it's like some of them were really good, and then some of them sucked. The last book was so bad that they had to make another last book. Like that, and that one was also really weird. Like this is a weird universe to play in. But they did a movie. It was a YouTube Originals movie.
YouTube, wow.
It was horrible. It was really bad. It was genuinely the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like people talk about, I think that's why I gave the Divergent movies so much slack, is because people are like, oh, those are the worst adaptations ever. I'm like, you clearly have not seen the Maximum Ride movie.
Okay, but I hated the Divergent movies. The books.
Oh, the books are great. I love the first 2 books. Yeah, I liked the first movie.
Didn't even finish it. I never finished it to this day.
Fair. Insurgent was horrible, and I'd never watched Allegiant because of just the production hell that it was. Because they're like, oh, we're gonna split this into 2 movies because that's what every franchise needs to do now. Yeah, and then the Allegiant bombed so hard they did not make the last part, and they're like, we're gonna do it as a made-for-TV movie. And then I think it was Shailene Woodley was like, I'm sorry, we're doing what now? No, I'm not doing that. You can't make. But it's like the Maximum Ride movie. They cast the casting wasn't good.
Yeah.
The production, there was no budget, very clearly, and they took so many creative liberties. Like not even like creative liberties necessarily, but they like looked down the road a little further. Like, oh, these characters eventually like kind of fall in love. Let's have them do that now in this first movie that also only adapts the first half of the first book.
Yes.
I'm like, how are you gonna do that? And so I think with that, even with the weird stuff, it'd be a cool idea to adapt that source material as an anime, because they also had a manga adaptation, I think, of the first 3 or 4 books, and the manga is really good. And I feel like, as bizarre as that book series gets, as an anime, I think it would be a perfect match, because like it kind of paced like that anyway in the books, because like you start having these weird arcs, and the arcs start becoming just like book to book instead of multiple books, which is fine for something like an anime. And you can really expand on characters and expand on some of the weird things that didn't quite work as well. So I think that'd be a cool adaptation to do.
Who's the author of those books, by the way?
James Patterson.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Yep. Okay, yeah, I definitely remember seeing those.
Yep. Yeah, I remember because the 3rd book came out when we were in like 6th grade, and it was called Saving the World and Other Extreme Sports. And so I thought it was like an X Games book. And so I got the first one, and I'm like, why do they have wings on the cover? Is it because they fly on their skateboards? And then I was just enthralled, which is weird, because normally in situations like that, when I go into something just completely wrong of what it's about, I'm out. I've lost all interest. That series hooked me so hard, and then it let me down so hard.
See me with the book Little Women, it's like everyone loves it and stuff like that. And as a kid, I was hooked for the first half-ish, and then like the last half of the book I was like, this is trash. I get really angry when characters I want to end up together don't, or like when things don't go the way that I want them to. And so I was like, I hate this book. And to this day, I have not finished it. I have not watched any more of the movies. I'm like bitterly angry because the child in me won't let it go. So I get it when you're disappointed.
Yep. That's like me with the Halo show. I guess kind of another adaptation in a way. The Halo show. And I like that there are people that like it. I am happy that this is a thing that someone likes, because people worked really hard on it. The production value is very high on it. It looks great. It's awful, though. It is so badly written and such a bastardization of the source material. And I love Halo. I never finished it. Like I got, I think it was like 3 episodes of the finale, and I'm like, I'm so fucking done. I mean, it's on Paramount Plus, so I'm like, I have to pay to watch this. And I'm paying to be disappointed every week.
Exactly.
I don't know. Creative liberties are one thing, but it's like you cannot take something like Halo and try to make something different out of it and just use the bare bones. If you're going to do that and make it something different. Like
that's what I was thinking. I was like, why even adapt at all? Just create something completely new at this point. You're destroying like the beauty of something. Like I love certain creative liberties. Some like I keep going back to like Jane Austen type stuff, but there was a recent adaptation of Emma. Came out in theaters and all that stuff like that. I think right before COVID hit. What's her name? That famous actress. She's like in everything. Did you ever watch that chess movie on Netflix?
Yes. Yeah. Queen's Gambit.
That girl, she plays the role of Emma. Did amazing.
Okay.
A lot of critics absolutely hated it because they said like they added too much to it, but I thought it was absolutely beautifully done. They said, we're going to make a silly version of this. And I mean, every part of it that I thought it was just absolutely beautiful. So it depends. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm really feeling like when they outwardly tell me I'm going to make a version of this that's not really like it, I'm like, but when they tell me, hey, get ready for this to be the exact match, and then it's not.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely how Halo was marketed.
Yeah.
I feel like the example, the thing that does it right, it's The Martian by Andy Weir. That is my favorite book, and it is one of my favorite movies. He is stranded on Mars. Like they're part of a Mars mission. The Mars mission goes wrong. They have to evacuate. He's left behind, and he's a botanist, so he has to like find a way to grow crops on Mars, and it's scientifically accurate. And I love the book so much. And I was really, really worried going into watching the movie.
Yes.
Because first of all, it's a very chunky book. There's a lot of math and a lot of science, which I feel like could translate very poorly to screen, and they nail it. And they cut out so much of that book, and it still works so damn well. So I think that kind of is my gold standard. The Martian is kind of my gold standard for an adaptation done right. And
that.
Yeah, and obviously I can go into other examples of like comic book movies and shows that have done things right. But I'm sure second half I might actually do that because I really want to talk about superheroes lately with everybody. I want to annoy them all. But there was a fine line between just ripping something apart and making the liberties you have to make to get it to screen, making the compromises you have to make to get it to screen.
Obviously, we have like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I finally figured out what adaptation I want. So when we come back, I will tell you which one I finally thought of.
This is a cliffhanger. We have a cliffhanger. Tune in next time and tune in after the break and find out what is Taylor's adaptation. What bullshit is Greg going to spout about comic book bullshit? Tune in after the break and find out. We'll be right back. And we are back for the exciting conclusion of what would Taylor adapt?
We were talking about books we loved as like middle schoolers and stuff like that. And I remember one of my favorite series. Did you ever read the Charlie Bone series?
I didn't read it, but I know about it. Someone was obsessed with that book.
It's by like Jenny Nemo or something like that. But honestly, amazing books. Are really, 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 really dark. Even darker, in my opinion, than some of the Harry Potter books. Kind of gave me nightmares just a little bit, but I was a little scared kid. But it's a phenomenal series, and I just absolutely love the way it ends. And there's tons of suffering and sadness. And
everyone's favorite flavor. Good.
So I highly encourage. Honestly, I'm debating rereading the series just to like have that nostalgia.
Okay, right on. I like that. I dig it. Would you do like a movie? Would you do a show? Would you do what are you thinking for the format?
Honestly, I like the idea of a show because then I can incorporate more into it. Because with movies, you have to do such a small, compact thing, and so many things get left out. So if I do like, I think the only people I would trust are HBO Max, because HBO Max does solid shows.
Except for the last season of Game of Thrones. Anyway, continue.
We don't talk about that.
And season 2 of Westworld. Anyway, continue.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about those.
Great documentaries though.
That, or I would let possibly Amazon Prime turn it into a show, because honestly, I watch a lot of their little cute shows, and
they do some good stuff. Yeah.
But I'm not letting Netflix touch it. So if I'm gonna do this, Netflix does not get to touch it.
Yeah. It's okay. They're having problems anyway.
Exactly.
Their reckoning is coming for biting off way more than they could chew. And I know this is the kind of thing that is worked out by someone far smarter and far more engrossed in the industry than me. How do these services like make the money to do? Because like Disney Plus, I get it because Disney already owns the world. They're fine. They can do whatever they want. But it's like an Amazon, or not Amazon, because Amazon also owns the world. But like Netflix, where does their budget come from after a certain point, because like you have all the expenses for paying people and using the services. Yeah, when you take on so many projects, so many projects, and so many adaptations of licensed things. Yes. Where does the buck stop? It's like, are you familiar with Telltale Games? Okay, sorry. So they did The Walking Dead and a bunch of other stuff, but their whole thing was they did these episodic games, and they licensed so much material: Walking Dead, Batman, Game of Thrones, Guardians of the Galaxy, so many things, because like Walking Dead was a huge hit, so they kept licensing stuff that was popular to try and get that steam back. Yeah, and they bankrupted themselves doing that. And I've kind of always wondered with like Netflix specifically, because like Hulu has some of their own stuff, but they're mostly just other shows. Like, I don't think any of their original stuff is too super like in the mainstream zeitgeist. Yeah. I don't know. It's always been weird to me. I'm sure that someone who understands the finance side of that, who is much smarter than me, could explain it in a way that makes sense. But it's like, it's always confused me with certain companies that do things like that. When does the well dry out? Because you can only get so far with investor money before they go, no, we're done here.
I think Netflix is starting to get to that point, because they keep making really stellar one seasons and then having to cancel them because they can't afford them anymore or various reasons. And it's making me so angry, because I'm like, listen, I know the Stranger Things kids, because I love Stranger Things, are worth just about every penny, but damn it, stop paying them so much so some of my shows can come back. It's like, I fell in love with this. It was definitely meant to be a little kid show, but I loved it. It was called Julie and the Phantoms.
Okay.
I loved it. It was so cute. And it was about a young girl who likes to sing and write music and stuff like that. And she meets these ghosts who died at a very young age. And it's just such a really cute show. And they found out they canceled it, even though it's got a very big fan base. See, it's interesting, because I'm obsessed with Stranger Things, as I've clearly made known.
Of course.
And I absolutely loved season 1. Masterpiece. But season 2 and 3, I liked them, yes, but like didn't do as much as season 1 did. But this most recent season 4, brought me back to that season 1 feeling, and I was like, all right, please keep this energy up. It's very interesting to see how like places and people can and cannot keep up that writing momentum.
Yeah. And with Stranger Things, it's interesting because I guess it's not a super big mystery because it's the same writing team across all 4 seasons. You get burned out, and I brought up Westworld. That was an idea they had one season for, and then it was so popular they're like, let's do another season, and they had no idea what to do, where to go from there. And that's why season 2
have one season.
What's that?
They should keep that one season. That is my one rant about Westworld.
Yeah, one season, because that season was so good. And season 2 was awful. We didn't even finish it. I heard it got better after season 2 because they got a plan.
We have not finished it.
Yeah. Things can be, it's like with Halo, I said earlier, it's like things can be so bad that you don't go back.
Yes.
And Westworld is also an adaptation. So it's like, but and like the Stranger Things thing, I feel like it was a similar thing. I think they were only going to do one season, and it was super popular. And I think it's why season 2 floundered the way it did. And again, I haven't seen past season 2. But you kind of have to find what works with that when you're like, it's the same creative team. And then there's things where it's like Westworld, where it's a different creative team coming in at some point and trying to do something different. It doesn't quite hit the same mark.
Yes. It makes me think of the most recent Doctor Who. Like, I loved female doctor. Awesome. That part's super cool to me. It just did not feel.
For our audio listeners, I'm making a pain face that looks like I'm constipated.
Yes, like, because Herschel recently like watched all of it, and like he was talking, he kind of like lost his momentum at her season.
Yep.
Because it's not that it's a female doctor.
Oh, she's great.
There are some serious jerks online who are freaking, it should never be a woman.
Oh, it's a girl. What does that mean for my masculinity?
It didn't mesh. I don't know.
So the problem, and I don't know how far you guys got with her seasons. She's great, I think. And I don't think I know. The big problem is the writing. The showrunner was not, I guess. So his first season, I feel like his first season and a half, I actually kind of like. Just because I'm a classic Doctor Who fan, that first season very much felt like it was harkening back to, we're doing these one-off episodes, and most of them were just kind of blah, but I was at least entertained. And then he did, what is it, Demons of the Punjab is the one that I think is so hauntingly beautiful. I think that is genuinely one of the best episodes that show has ever done, but also it wasn't him, so it was another writer. And then he, in the second season, started doing this thing, and I don't know how intentional it is. It's just like my conspiracy theory brain, but he started pulling story beats from other corners of Doctor Who expanded media, like the books and the audio dramas and the kind of canceled plans for the series in the 90s. He did the thing with the Timeless Child, which I don't know how far you guys got. That is very much a spin-off idea of something they were going to do in the 90s, where the Doctor was this character called the Other. He was a reincarnation of an ancient Gallifreyan, essentially god, and that was what they were going to. That was like the mystery they were going for, and so that was kind of really heavily done. There was an Eighth Doctor audio with Mary Shelley and a Cyberman. That was that. If you look at Spyfall, which I really enjoyed the Spyfall episode, but he pulls so many story beats from so many episodes of that, of like the new Who formula. And then after the Timeless Children, it's like he just gave up, because I get the season 13 or season 13 for Flux. I get there were a ton of production issues because of COVID, and it had to be boiled into 6 episodes, so it was already a mess. But it just feels like he stopped trying. And then the New Year special with the Dalek with the Gatling gun was just kind of blah. And then the Sea Devil episode, which was a big thing for me because I love the Sea Devils from the classic series. That's like another common complaint with his writing style is, cool, thing happens in history, Doctor reads the Wikipedia page out loud of whatever the subject matter is, and it is very, very, I don't want to say cookie cutter, because it's like I don't know. I'm happy that he's leaving. I wish that she was staying. Yeah.
I wish she was staying, but I gotta tell you, I'm pretty darn thrilled for the new Doctor.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of what he's in. I've seen a couple episodes of Sex Education, but he's fun at least, and I like the kind of his like social media energy. Like, I'm excited. Like, I'm excited.
He's gonna bring so much energy, so I'm excited about that. But they better not screw him up with writing, because
Yeah, and I like, so the thing that's kind of been leaked is that they're not doing, because the next year is the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, and rather than doing an anniversary special, they're doing multiple specials across the year. And because we already, it's already been kind of like the David Tennant's coming back as the Doctor in some capacity. I'm excited for it. I'm more excited for the potential that they're going to do, since they're doing multiple specials, they're going to do something with all the Doctors.
Yes.
And I want to see 12 back. I'm 12 is my favorite Doctor. Like, that is my like super excited moment when he comes back for like Big Finish audio dramas and stuff. I am so there.
Which one's 12? You have to like
Eyebrows.
Yep. Okay. Yes. I know exactly.
I'm going Scottish. I think he had a very rough first season, but after that he becomes just iconic to me. And by the end of his run, he is the Doctor. Like, he is the definitive Doctor to me. But yeah, I hope that they do something along those lines. So like, I think Matt Smith has already been kind of spotted in that area. I hope beyond hope they're doing something like that. And it's some weird like alternate timeline taking over thing.
Listen, to be honest, Matt Smith is my favorite Doctor.
I love Matt Smith. It's weird. I'm one of those weirdos that I like the last chunk of his episodes. People seem to hate those, but it's like when he gets the purple suit on, when he's with Clara, and he's like, I'm like, they figured him out. They know who his character is. But I really enjoy him. I feel so bad for that actor, Matt Smith, just because like I feel like ever since he left, he has been phenomenal in roles that are attached to projects that flop. I found out his character in Morbius. I guess there's a scene where he's like dancing and getting dressed, and someone on YouTube did a fan edit of that, and he's dancing with Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3.
The worst movie ever. Oh my god! Every time I see that dancing scene of Tobey Maguire.
That's where you lose it. Like, everything else in that movie, I could kind of forgive. That scene is just so insanely weird.
One, because he cannot dance, and that's very clear that he has no rhythm. But two, it is so uncomfortable. It makes me so I get so much secondhand embarrassment. I have to turn it off. I'm like, nope.
Oh my god, I'm so happy to hear I'm not the only one that does that. Like, when
I can't do it. I can't do the secondhand embarrassment.
Yep. It's that, or it's like if there's a scene coming out where I know someone's getting into trouble and the consequences are coming, I'm like, oh, I gotta get some popcorn or something. It's let the dogs out of clock.
I'm in the middle of that Jane Austen adaptation, Persuasion, and a scene made me super duper uncomfortable. I had to pause it. I had to like breathe for a little bit, and I'm like, come on, Heather, you really want to watch this movie? So I had to press play again and just kind of like grit my teeth through it, but I made it through it, and I'm like, this is good.
There you go. This is gonna work. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Okay, so before we get wrapping up, we got some things that we do every sort of week, kind of, sort of, not really, but we're gonna try our best. Which number one, we're going to assign our homework. So for this episode of the Writers Bleck podcast, going into the next, I want to get a rough draft of a treatment done for my comic book. It is something I've wanted to do for a very long time now, and I keep finding excuses for me to not do it. And that is kind of the big one of the two big projects I want to take on. Is I want to do my comic book and I want to do my novel series. So I'm going to work on the treatment for volume 1 of All My Heroes Need Therapy, and we will see how that works. I think I've done a lot of good brainstorming this week, if nothing else. So we'll see what happens in 2 weeks. All right, on to you. What do you got for homework this week? You don't have to do a makeup day if you don't have to stick with the same thing if you fall down once. You can move on to something else. It's whatever you want to do.
I think for me, because I've been in such a rut, I just want to complete a piece. It could be a poem, it could be an essay, a story. Okay. I just want to write something down and get it done.
Well, that works because of the second thing, which we tie into, is a thing I brought up last week that we will close the shows with every week, called Crumple Story. So I have prepared a 1 paragraph of the opening of a story, and it's in a Google Doc. I'm going to recite it, and then I will pass it off to you with the Google Doc magic link things of the future. And then by the next episode, you will, you don't have to, but if you have the time and the will, write the next paragraph. And it can be like a 1, 2, 3 paragraph thing. It can be just adding on to the lore, the mystique. If you change the tone, if you change whatever, that's fine. That's part of the process. So we're just kind of seeing what we can cook up. Okay. All right. So the paragraph is as follows. "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground," Terry muttered aloud into the cold void of a rainy night. "You underestimate my power." Quoting movies aloud on the long walk home wasn't ideal, but it definitely took a bit of the terror out of what was turning into a horrible night. Agreeing to work closing shifts always came with a risk of missing the last bus home, but the storm breaking out in the already cool October night had literally turned his night into a scene from a bad horror movie. Cold, rainy night? Check. Long walk down a dimly lit country road? Check. Dead phone? Check. Wearing flip-flops? Big fat check. It was freezing, and all he could do to keep his mind off the cold was quote movies and keep walking. It was only another hour away. His steps slowed to a stop, though, as he noticed a shadow growing in front of him, signaling the headlights were coming up behind him. He turned to look at the vehicle as it approached, cruised past him, and stopped just ahead. "Don't try it," Terry said. And that's the paragraph. So it could go a lot of ways. It could go horror. It could go, we're gonna have a lesson about life. It could go straight up buddy comedy. We're gonna go on some adventures. Go anywhere. That sky's the limit.
Okay.
I used he, him, and his way too much in this, I'm realizing. Pronouns are not my strong suit in the writing department, but it's fine. It's fine.
So we're not going to overthink it. We're going to have fun with this.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. Just having fun. We're just having some fun. We're palling around. We're doing our thing. I'm making finger guns now. I don't know. So do you got any closing thoughts? Anything else on adaptations or anything? Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna tell everyone, go read Charlie Bone.
Okay. I've heard good things. I might, I have an Audible. I didn't cancel my Audible subscription this month. Oh no. Good. Well, there's $15 I gotta kiss goodbye. It's fine. All right. So that will conclude then episode 3 of the Writers Bleck podcast. We did it. We're knocking them out of the park, left, right, and center. If you liked it, let us know in some form of comments. I still am not entirely sure how podcasts work. I know that there's comments somewhere. I know that there are stars. Give us 5 of them. And let us know how we can improve the show. Again, we're still starting out. We're still a brand new venture. So feedback is important. Just be nice. Don't be a dick, because then I will cry and then probably say mean things about you to my diary. And this is going to be a whole mess. Taylor's dogs are going to get you. They're going to
bite you.
They will fuck you up. My internet connection is apparently unstable. so it's a good time to say our goodbyes. So thank you so much for watching or listening to this podcast. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Google Podcast, Stitcher. We're on something else, Amazon Music. We're on a lot of stuff. I don't know how I did that, but I did that. I made that happen. I did it. And Anchor, because that's how I did that. We used Anchor. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. I've been Lego Mike Grego. This has been Taylor.
Bye.
You guys have been awesome, and we will see you guys in the next episode of the Writers Bleck podcast.